We're here at the 2010 OneMedForum in San Francisco. I'm now joined by Ron Andrews, the CEO of Clarient. Ron, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Bill.
Right. I guess the best way to start this is just a brief summary of Clarient.
Sure. Clarient is sort of the output of a vision of a number of healthcare professionals from the molecular diagnostic space and the lab services space, really to create a service organization that would fill a huge unmet need. Hundreds of thousands of people get cancer every year. They get it in their community, and yet they have to go to an academic center to really get the appropriate treatment. And we saw an opportunity to be an aggregator of all the technology coming out of the Human Genome Project and put that technology into play and use it to repatriate the local practitioner, the pathologist and oncologist in the community, so that that cancer patient can get academic level services and care in the local community so they don't disrupt their family and they can get access still to the highest level of care. So the idea started in 2004. We built out a lab service in the fall, got our lab license in November of 2004, and in January of 2005 we started Clarient. And here we sit 5 years later on a $100 million run rate, and it's been a really good run for us. So,
how does this platform that you created aid in moving oncology therapy to a more personalized medicine approach?
Yeah. Oncology therapeutics has been an area that has really transformed itself over the last 3 to 5 years since the Genome Project ended. A number of targeted therapeutics sit on the horizon that really would change the face of how we manage cancer. In the old days, a doc would look through a microscope, see a cancer tissue, call it cancer, say it came from the breast, call it breast cancer, and that patient would be sent to an oncologist, and that oncologist would use heavy metal chemotoxins and radiation, burn down the haystack, and hope they got the needle in the process before they killed the patient. And the beauty of what's happened since the Genome Project is there's been hundreds of millions of dollars in pharma poured into the development of targeted drugs that will specifically shut down pathways of communication of bad DNA code. And so the idea of personalized medicine is this: if you've seen one cancer, you've seen one cancer. And so we really believe that there's probably no better disease state to really become the poster child for the proper utility of personalized medicine than cancer. Because there's a therapeutic decision that's very complex. You need complex diagnostic information to marry the right patient to the right drug. And so we believe we're right at the forefront of personalized medicine.
Let's talk about you guys stepping into the diagnostics area itself.
Sure.
How large is this market, and where do you see yourselves fitting in?
Yeah, the cancer diagnostics market for the service side in molecular is somewhere around the $2.5 to $3 billion market today. That includes the tool component, the tool companies, as well as the service companies. But this is the area that's set to explode, with 400 drugs on the horizon that are targeted at these very specific pathways that are all going to require some level of testing or diagnostic test to really drive the decision point. Analysts in the industry believe the industry is going to grow between $1.5 and $3 billion over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. And that's why we believe Clarient's very, very well poised to continue to be an aggregator of these very exciting technologies, but really focus on the end result. What does the doc need to know to make the decision for that patient about therapy? And back into the technology, we need to aggregate that technology and create the right test so we can give the right information out. And so very exciting opportunity for us to really enter at a very important time in this space.
And I think very relatable question, your recent acquisition of Applied Genomics, how does that make you guys a stronger company, especially in that area?
So we spent the first 4.5 years of our life as Clarient really building the commercial channel. One of the challenges from the molecular diagnostics world has been to get uptake of these new cutting-edge tests. And having spent a number of years running the commercial world for Roche Molecular with the PCR testing, you know, I really understand and continue to understand the need to have an educated consumer on the other end of the test. And so what we said the first 4.5 years we were going to do is spend our time building out that commercial network, which we've done with over 1,100 pathology practices dedicated to using Clarient for molecular pathology today. We have the most robust network of pathology in the industry. Now what we want to do is spend the next 3 to 5 years dropping in very high-value proprietary tests. And the AGI acquisition was very exciting for us because not only did it give us access to a menu of tests that we can launch today and really begin to dominate an area that's sort of a new pioneer or a new front for us to pioneer, and that's lung cancer, where there's really no formalized diagnostic modality. But the discovery engine that they use to discover those tests is proprietary as well. And they took gene expression data and mapped the protein component of that using candidate antibodies and what we call tissue microarrays to really pressure test key panels that can have a very powerful outcome-oriented data set. And that's what we hope to do, is not only launch the tests that we've acquired that they already have ready to go in lung cancer, but now to fill in the other solid tumors, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer. So our goal over the next 2 to 3 years is really to capitalize on the development engine while we create revenue from the tests that are ready to go to market.
I guess it's just kind of a quick recap. From an investor standpoint, what kind of major catalysts and milestones can we expect from Clarient for the remainder of 2010?
Yeah, so as investors look at Clarient, we're really in that transition stage from just being a service organization to really now dialing up our molecular diagnostics proprietary play. So really the milestones for this year are look for us to launch Pulmotype, which was the lung cancer test we just acquired in the acquisition of AGI in Q1. We have a series of taxane markers out of that same pipeline that will help women that now need chemotherapy. We'll know if the taxane class of chemotherapies is the right class for them. There's also the opportunity this year to turn profitable and have our first net earnings year, so they should look for that as we go through the year. And also to get some of the health reform issues that are brewing out there cleared up and understood, because we actually think long term it's going to benefit a company like Clarient to have the uninsured payers or the uninsured patients now being, receiving revenue for those patients, because we do the work today, we just don't get paid for those. So the idea is going to be to look for that to clear up a little bit, and then follow the launch of these new tests, and then just watch the company continue to grow as we have in the last 5 years.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thanks.
Again, that was Clarient. For more information, they trade on the symbol CLRT. You can also find them online at clarientinc.com, as well as information can be found at OneMedPlace.com.